So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start appending between these in the back of the foot. I'm going to add geometry on this side or this side if I need additional geometry there. But I want to make sure that it doesn't flow out. It looks like it's going to flow out to the top here. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to delete that try for now, and then I'll append it back in later on, just so that I don't get edges that run into my digits, which is what I don't want. So we're looking okay here. Mesh tools, append poly. My key. I do have ways of resolving this too, and I'll show you that. Where we have dense areas moving into lighter areas. And actually, here's one right here. So since I have a lot more edges flowing down into the hand than I do have coming up, which is with a human hand that tends to be the opposite, I'm going to add additional geometry here. Here we go. Coming in between each digit. That should help. In a situation like this, I'll go over to the other side. I want to make sure that I'm not going to have to, I don't make changes that I don't have to. So let's bring that out there. Some of this is just a matter of positioning too. That's why I'm moving these verts around to see how I'm doing edge for edge. And it looks like I'm going to run into a little trouble spot here in the back. So I'll tackle the front first. It looks like I'm going to be okay here for right now. So may not look pretty at first, but in the end, it'll all be okay. If you do have a little bit of, I don't know, like an ugly transition, the best place to hide it is in the back of the foot. Ideally, we want to avoid ugly transitions, but sometimes they are unavoidable. It's a horrible philosophy for people. It's a good philosophy for geometry. So we're left with one little gnarly spot in the back. So let's see, what's going to be the best way to do this? If I add a piece of geometry there, it's going to flow out in a bad way. So it's going to flow up on both sides. Well, let me see what it looks like. And my hands have little dexterity in them today. Insert edge loop tool. Yeah, that's nasty. We won't be doing that. And this is probably equally as nasty. Yeah, we won't be doing that. All right. So in this case, we're going to go edit mesh or mesh tools, append polygon tool. Continue on here. Here. And then let's look at here. So is it an unavoidable try? Well, let's weigh out the options, because this is really like where you go, okay, is this worth rearranging all the time I'm going to have to take to rearrange this area to make this one piece quadded out? Is it worth it? Is there a quick solution? So can I merge maybe these three edges together and then delete that one edge to form a quad? Let's see. But I think that's going to end up forming a try right here, right? So there's no good solution. I'm going to live with a try in the back of the foot. Since my other options are less than optimal. Additionally, this try is not going to affect my rig. I'll still be able to move this area rather nicely and get some good animation out of it. Let's come back here. Get the try on the bottom of our foot. And dealing with the back foot is going to be much easier. I also want to get into doing the wings rather soon. So let me see if you guys have had any questions yet. All okay, Marcos. We're at 12:18. All right. All right. I'm just going to position this a little bit better. Doesn't have to be super pretty, but I don't want it to be super ugly. Like I said, a lot of this, we're going to end up projecting this too, so a lot of this is going to end up getting prettied up inside of ZBrush. A little bit of smooth brush. So I don't know what everybody's experience level is, and I've been using the snap to edge or snap to curve key, which is C. It's the same thing as coming up here and clicking on this snap to curve. There's also snap to point, snap to grid. For snap to point, it's the V key, right? Snap to grid is the G key. All right, that's not quite so hideous now. All right, so in this the last part of the foot, I'm going to drop in the edge loops for the digits, for the joints and the digits. Let's do one here, one here. Oh, and I do have to do my claws still. Let's drop in one there. So I'm going to keep these simple with one joint here. Same rules of compression and expansion apply here. You'll have to apply it in your own model. And just so when I come into ZBrush, I'll want to know where each joint is going to be placed. As far as the geometry is concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and raise these one edges just to give me that little bit of bump where the joint's going to go. All right. So for the claws, let's select our fingertips. And you know what? I'm going to exclude our edges, these side faces here. Because I think it'd be cleaner out of just those two polys. We could actually do it out of one poly, but I don't know how I feel about them all being angled down. Let's go one poly. Keep it nice and simple. All right, so from here, let's go edit mesh, face, extrude. Pull those out. Switch to scale, grab the center. Let's pull it in. Grab the X scale, let's bring that in. I don't know if that's going to work too well. Let's see how we're looking in the front. I think the back one's just looking awkward. The front's okay. I'm okay with that. So let's just grab these faces in the back. I'll just bring that in closer like that. All right, so from here, I'm going to insert edge loop at the base of it. No, not there. Let's go here. There we go. And remember, I'm not exporting my lowest subdivision, all right? So I'm going to end up with more geometry in these claws. I just want to start very, very simply. And let's go to any extrusions. I'm just going to leave that geometry there. Then I'm going to use the ZBrush extrusions to get the little lip here at the base of each claw. So I'm going to leave that alone. All right, over to the back foot. This is relatively easy. It's really just a cube on the bottom, so I can almost just form it out of the limb. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with that. So delete history, let's save. I'm going to bring back my body reference so I can see the overall shape. Transparency. I could probably match that angle a little bit better. So let's move that out this way. I have to ask myself if I'm okay with that little bit of a bend, and I think I am. So now let's go ahead and take this, extrude edge, I'm looking at it as just no different than a horse hoof. There's no articulation of digits here. At least not in the geometry. In the sculpt, sure. Go pull it out that way. Just put the rotation in here. Bring that up. The only thing that I'm seeing here that I'll want to articulate, because I don't want this necessarily to move entirely like a horse does, even though I could. Well, it depends. So if I wanted some flex in the forward portion of the foot here, which I don't think I need, I would want to make a flat surface here and then make an extrusion to come out to express the tip of the foot here. Just in case you were wondering if you have something similar in yours. So let's go ahead and append poly now. Start in the center. Try right there. Let's see if we can avoid that. Can we avoid it? I don't want to avoid it. It's fine. Here. There. And try on the bottom of the foot. All right, now that we have this, I'm going to look over the entire model before I go on to the wings and make sure that I have everything that I need. Anything I don't. This area is looking really light. I'm going to add an edge loop here. Arm feels a little dense. So we're actually going to go around 4,000 polys. We're still within our limit. 4,000 polys. Even if we go 5,000 polys, we're still in our limit. So